Welcome to the Lone Machinist podcast, the podcast where it's just you, your tools, and the work. No team, no backup. I'm Jamie from JSpec Engineering, and every episode we're tackling the highs and lows of flying solo in the machining world.
And I'm Curt from Confounded Machine, here to chat about everything it takes to make it as a one-man show in the shop. From grinding and turning to the struggles of running a one-person operation, we're sharing the stories, the tricks, and the challenges that come with going it alone.
If you're out there in the shop grinding away by yourself, or just thinking about taking a solo plunge, this show's for you.
So throw in your ear protection and let's talk about life behind the machine.
Good evening, Curt. Oh, no, good morning, Curt. It's evening for me.
Good evening, Jamie. How you doing, man?
Yeah, carrying on. Literally came in 20 minutes ago from machining parts.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I came in 32 seconds ago for machining parts. So.
Nice. Yeah, I stopped, took a 10-minute break, and then recording time. But yeah, we are right at the end of the month, so pushing a bunch of stuff out the door.
I know the month always sneaks up. Oh, it's coming so close. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, no, it's right there. I've got to deliver. I've got to go do bean counting tomorrow at one customer and go and deliver like 5 different orders to a different customer.
Ooh,
and then go and deal with that stupid spinning lathe, which is nearly off of my plate. Like, I have lost money on that. It is frustrating as hell.
Yeah, that looks like that's been a long time coming, that one, it seems.
Well, I was at my mate today. We were welding it up. I went to weld it up on Saturday because we finally got the laser cutting back on Thursday. We had a public holiday on Friday and sent Danica to go pick it up. She nearly got T-boned by a car because came to a robot that was broken, so 4-way stop. And she stopped, pulled off, and a guy came screaming through. He didn't even know there was a robot. They'd stolen the poles.
Oh no!
Yeah, so you don't even know it's meant to be a stop. So yeah, she was a bit annoyed. And then I went to weld it on Saturday and realized, we can't assemble this thing if we weld it together. So I had to bring it back here and machine out. There was a hole in the plate. I had to machine a slot so the spindle can drop in. And then this morning had to machine bearing blocks for a job. I've lost money on that heavily, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess just get it off your plate and move on through life.
My plates and say no next time.
Yeah, that's a powerful word.
Yeah, helping people at your own cost is not very sustainable.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest fault too, is just taking on things from like, oh, I could probably do this. It won't take much. And then you end up eating
It'll be fun.
And you're like, oh, why am I doing this to myself over and over and over?
Yeah, I spent 3 hours at my mate today welding the thing up and helping him get it outside because he can't handle it by himself. That's 3 hours I could have been running production. Like,
yeah,
it's a bit infuriating, especially when you've got a lead time sneaking up on you that you need to, or delivery date sneaking up and you need to act on. But yeah, that's just, it is what it is.
No, totally. Yep, I get that, man.
But yeah, do you like my first topic there?
Yeah, I love that because you seem to just be sponsored by printing companies. So tell me why you have. So is this 3 or 4 now? I
have 3 now. So the one is going to just get given to my mate Dave if he listens. Best you get your shit together. The AnyCubic Photon Mono 2, I hate it. It can go to him. He's really good at getting really good prints off bad machines. Like, he had an old R3 cut out of acrylic. It was the absolute most potato printer, and he used to get the best TPU prints I've ever seen off of that thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll send him the crappy printer. And then I bought another one of the Hallett 1 Pros.
Oh, the dirty harlots.
Yes, the harlots. That arrived on Wednesday afternoon. I'm printing the 49th and 50th component now.
Holy smokes.
It ran all weekend. Allegedly a 5.5 hour cycle time, which is actually 6.5 hours. The thing can't keep track of time. So I've been waking up at stupid o'clock to go and change prints and rinse prints and get things running again. But that's got to be tomorrow's the delivery date for that order. So the last 2 are printing now. They'll be done before I go to bed, and I can be done with that. And then I'm selling one of those to Roger, one of our listeners.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. I said to him if he's interested, I'll give him a good price. So his one, he broke his one a while ago. So he's been in the market for a printer. So
nice.
I'll give him the one with a dodgy Z.
How many milliliters of resin have you gone through then?
I have gone through 6 kgs. since
okay.
Monday last week.
Okay, so sizable prints too. Or
yeah, they're every 2 parts is 87 grams.
Okay, yeah.
So I bought 6 bottles. I bought 6 bottles of resin on Wednesday last week. I have 2 unopened and 1 half bottle left, and obviously whatever's in the 2 printers. So all in all, probably I've probably got 3 liters left, and I bought 2 bottles previous to that.
Okay, cool.
And then I printed 12 parts that were left-handed, so I just gave them to them. So instead of 50 parts, they're getting 62 parts.
Oh, wow.
I've got nothing to do with the left-hand parts. Like, what am I going to do? Just give them to them. They can play with them. Like,
and these were like those injection mold samples?
Yeah.
Or like they're going to get injection molded if they work out?
So I need to go and fix the model now because I've just kept extruding it up to make it taller. So it's not a continual taper now. It's doing dolphin shit up the side. So I need to just go and project the bottom, project the top, and do a loft between them. But it's a bit of it wasn't my model to start, and I've just made it work as I've gone. So I've got to just tweak it a little bit. But this is a 5 battery version. In production, they'll do a 2 battery version. They just want to do a whole bunch of data collection now, and they need additional capacity.
Gotcha. Yeah. This is for the drones, correct?
No, this is container tracking. So okay. It's actually one of the bolts for sealing the container. It's got a whole board and batteries and GPS and GSM and every freaking sensor in the world. And then that will poll every 30 minutes and send an update wirelessly anywhere in the world.
Oh, sick. Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then they've got a 5-minute version as well. So every 5 minutes it updates the position, can detect if the bolt's been cut, can detect a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, that's more the software side. The side I don't get involved with. I just make boxes for them.
Well, I mean, nice way to justify or to build you buy you a couple printers.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to having it. I've got to print some stuff for another customer. I need to work on the design tonight or tomorrow, and then put that on the printer. Print him some followers for magazines.
Cool.
So those I'm gonna have to buy Cyratec Onyx blue Onyx, the black blue resin. I love that they've named it a color because I've got the clear blue, but it prints like garbage. So yeah, I don't really feel like troubleshooting that too much.
Yeah, that's basically what I print with. It's so annoying to dial in, but it is a nice resin.
Is you using the gray one?
Yeah, I mean blue, and it's supposed to be black, but it comes out really dark blue.
Oh, okay.
So it looks black on camera, but
I've got the clear Cyratec blue, and it is the worst thing to print.
Yeah.
I've heard. I'm sure I could dial it in. Yeah, I'm sure I could dial it in, but I don't want to. Yeah, I'll literally just give the bottle to my mate Dave and say, "Hey, dude, have fun." Yeah, I don't feel like fighting with this.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, I get that. That's sick. Yeah, I know. I was printing too. I was printing just holders for the tool tags.
Yes.
Every year, my printer is such an ancient. It's an old Mendel 90, but I just don't. Sometimes I don't print for 10 months, so I'm I can't justify a new printer. But then today, or the weekend, I was like, oh, it has a little Bowden tube because I made my own extruder for it. Anyways, I had to replace this one part, and I spent a couple hours doing it. And I'm like, I should just printers are so inexpensive nowadays. I'm I should just buy a printer that works that I don't ever have to think about, even if it sits for 10 months. I'm it's just that's a want. That's not a need. But I totally understand the there's been advancements in the last 10 years in that area, and just having something where you can send a print to it and it works.
Even the last 5 years, there's my beefcake printer, and it was pretty much top of the line when we built it. It's got a Bontech dual gear clone. It's running a V6 because that was the most advanced thing at the time. Well, a clone of a V6 with a genuine nozzle. It's running a big Tech SKR board in it. It's a good printer. It does the thing, but it could probably be better. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and that's my problem too. Is the prints that come off my printer are they're beautiful prints. I'll put them head to head against any bamboo. The only problem is they take probably 20 times as long. A bamboo would probably spit this part out in 20 minutes, and mine takes 3 hours. So it's
no, 100%.
Most of the time I don't care. I just queue it up and go do something. But there is times where it's oh, this would be nice to have this just now, as opposed to waiting a day for it.
Yeah, I was looking at the Prusa Core ones. They look really nice.
That's what I was looking at too. I actually talked to a few guys that have bamboos, and they said they're fantastic, but they're built to a price point. And honestly, my printers, I keep them forever. So I'm like, either I'm going to go Voron or I'm going to go probably a Prusa, because I just think they're just built a little bit better.
Yeah,
I won't argue though. The bamboos, like the user experience for a bamboo, is winning
100%.
above everybody.
But I think the Core One, they're really trying to match that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like I was watching a review, and the issue I've got here. So, what does an X1C cost? It's like $1,200, $1,400.
Yeah, about 14.
Yeah. How much do you think they cost here?
No idea. I mean, the X1C. So they're shipping from. I don't know. I'm going to say they're.
There's a local distributor. Okay. There's a local distributor here. So $1,400. Call it $1,600 on like a bad day when you want to buy one somewhere else in the world.
Okay.
$2,268.
Oh, that's a bump.
Yes, they're like, bend over, sir. Bite down. Yeah. We're going in dry.
Oh, yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, no, the Oaks in South Africa rip the ring when it comes to imported goods. Like, I'm sorry, but why is there almost $1,000 like just because we have it fee? I also got told that I was at Rage 2 years ago, and they just released the P1S or P1P, whatever it is. They had a X1C and a P1P, and the guy's like, no, the X1C's fancy because it has carbon. I'm like, dude, just go away. They both have the same carbon tubes. That is part of their motion system. This one just doesn't have covers. Like, the X1C, the C stands for covers, not for carbon. Like, the salesman. I get annoyed with them.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't like going to the 3D printing store with me. Mostly because I tell their customers straight, don't buy this. It's cuck, buy that. They got very irate with me the one day.
Yeah. Oh, they're so cool. There's so much neat tech in that nowadays. Just like
there is. And it's a super useful tool to have in the workshop. Like for printing tool tags or Gridfinity things, or like, there's a million uses for it. I mean, the webcam's a 3D printed mount. My microphone boom is on a 3D printed mount. Like, they're everywhere.
I know.
Like, it's a super useful technology.
No, totally. And that's the thing is, if it was faster, like if my printer was faster and perfectly reliable, I would probably use it more. That's kind of the justification. But anyways, it's still a want. I don't need it. So
I just realized my TPU is on my printer and it's been there for a week. It's going to need to go back in its bucket tonight, or it's going to be unprintable. Like,
I get lucky with the winter here, and all my filament just goes bone dry because it's like 10% humidity, so I don't worry about it. But now I have to. Summer's coming, so
mine literally lives in buckets. Trying to see, it's behind the microphone. They live in. I've got a PLA bucket, a TPU bucket, a PETG bucket, and an ABS bucket with desiccant in, and the spools just get tossed in there, and it makes a world of difference. Like, even on PLA, you'll have like funny business going on. You pull a roll out of there, and it's perfect. Like, it actually makes a big difference. But so, important questions. Did you get Siemens Gray filament for your tool tags?
No, I just ended up I had a bunch of like flat black, so I just printed it all in flat black. And then I went against my better judgment, and I have like 10 kilos of white ABS.
Oh.
So I printed all the tags in white ABS, and I was like, you know what? If these get disgusting, I'll print it in a different color.
They get disgusting?
When, I don't know, I keep my hands pretty clean. I have other white ABS around here, so I was like,
you have oil in your workshop.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm pretty pedant. What's the PC word? Particular about cleanliness, so I think I'll be okay.
Have you ordered shrink fit tooling?
I did. Yeah.
When's the expected delivery?
I just got an email actually before the podcast started, so I don't know. It should be in the next the short. Well, I lost you here. Okay, there we go. The shortest window is I should have it maybe today, and the longest is 2 weeks because I went with some Haas shrink fit because they were the only ones that had the stick out I wanted in the bore diameter, which is 1/8, and then the price they were half off right now, so picked them up.
That's ridiculous.
And then everybody warned me. They're like, oh, shrinking 1/8 is like super hard. I was like, so we're going to find out together if I can, I mean, shrinking it in is going to be no issue. Getting it out. So I think if I have issues, I'm going to build like an aluminum cooling block that I can put on the end of the tool, like kind of just like a
Okay,
compression
to
fit.
sink the heat out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then have you ever messed around with, it's called super cold. I don't know. It's for electronics. Like it's just a aerosol can, but it's like
Okay.
minus 50 degrees. So you can blow it on chips, and like it's for detecting like cold solder joints or like weirdness in
Interesting.
circuits.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you freeze.
You could get tinned air and you just turn the can upside down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the fancy version of just flipping a can upside down.
Yeah.
Anyways, so if I have issues, I'm going to try to do it with that and then just hit the end with that super cold and see if I get enough differential to pop the tool out. But that's burning problems that haven't happened yet. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
100%. But yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see how your tool life goes with that. Like, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, all told, it cost me, I think, $500 to buy. I bought a 1800 watt shrink mod, like a induction module, power supply, and then the couple holders were like $400. So we'll try it.
Okay.
We'll see how it works out. I also had a friend reach out, local guy, that has a proper shrink fit machine that's broken, so that might find its way to me, which is like 6 kilowatts, so that's a lot more juice. But
yeah, that's a lot of power. That should get the job done. Yeah, I got a quote on a mirror maker. Is the a mirror maker? It's the brand I use for my roughing tool, Hoffman Vera something or other. And I asked for a quote on one last week when I was at the Mazak dealers, because they're the agents for these tools. Yeah. And it's a 12 dime. It's a 3.5 times D mirror maker for machining the anchor points. But it's a spendy tool. It's like compared to what I'm running, it's a $200 tool. What I'm running is what I'm running now. I think by the time I land it, has a $54 tool, so it's 4 times the price. Okay. It's like that's a bump. I don't think it's 4 times the quality. Maybe like in a shunt hydraulic, it might make the world of difference. But yeah, it's an expensive tool.
Are you going to go with the hydraulic holders?
I am going to go with the shunt hydraulic. I just need to be less poor first. So I'm working on that. But yeah, with regards to that, anchor point news. Are you on the mailing list?
Oh, I saw the email, of course. Yes.
Okay, you saw the email. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were on the mailing list. Danica sent it out. But yeah, we are committing. Well, we are committing to a shipping date, or to an availability date of the 30th of April, which is 5 weeks away. It's a little terrifying, especially because I'm funding the whole batch myself, which is, I think, going to stretch us a little bit, but I'd rather do it that way than take people's money. And then, I mean, if I have to push the delivery dates, oh well, like, sorry guys, inconvenience. Not, I've got your money and I'm not delivering. So,
no, totally.
Ball's getting rolling on that this week. I'm waiting for an order to come through for another job, and then I'll order the alley, like all one big batch of aluminium. But that's going ahead. My sample anode part is ready for collection.
Oh, cool. You haven't picked it up yet?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't even... Yeah, I think last week we discussed I was going to drop it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got pricing.
Okay.
Take a guess how much to anodize the body. I'm playing the take a guess game today, if you hadn't noticed.
Oh, just are we talking just the one, or are we going to talk batches?
So if I do a batch of 15 per unit, I can do one, but then they minimum lot charge me.
Okay. I don't know. Minimum lot charge of $200.
Well, so okay. If I do a batch of 15, what do you think it is per unit? And no cost.
Okay. Call it $15-20.
$2.48.
Whoa!
I cannot turn my anodizing setup on for the cost of anodizing one of those parts.
I can't turn my truck on for that price. That's insane.
So I spoke to them when I went there, discussed racking. They're like, oh, can you make racking pins? I'm like, sure. Piece of aluminium, like 50 millimeters long or 2 inches long, M5 thread on the one end. It screws into my part. They're literally going to take the part with those pins and clamp the pins to their bars, to their titanium bars.
Nice.
So racking is a non-issue. Because I went there, had a chat to the guys. Like, it was confidence inspiring. I'm going to go pick up the sample Probably on Wednesday, I'll go pick up the sample of that body, then mark all the holes and see how much growth we had so that I can adjust my manufacturing tolerances to match their growth tolerances, and then, can be making good parts from the get-go.
Oh, awesome. I hope the part doesn't look like a $2 part, but yeah, that's awesome. That's a wicked price.
I don't think it will. Like, I had a long chat to the guys about what I expected, how I'm like, I do my own anno. This is like, these are the criteria. They could see that I knew what I was talking about with the anno, so we'll see. I'm very curious to see what it comes out like. Why is awesome, my wife there now? I have many questions. Sorry. She's gallivanting to get a McFlurry, and now she's at Burger King for some reason. She did buy something at McDonald's, but now she's at Burger King. Who knows? She's on her own mission tonight.
But yeah, so burgers.
So the sample anno part was free as well, which is nice. I got an invoice for a free thing. Like, cool. Thanks for the paperwork. But yeah, they want me to make racking consumables, and there's a minor detail to make that. And then at least I've got that part of the process dialed in now. Like, assuming it comes back good quality, that is one less thing I have to worry about.
No, totally. It takes it off your mind, and that lets you move a little quicker. And for, like you said, for the price, no, you can't
it's hilarious. Like, I can't even turn my anno setup on. Like, I literally burn more electricity than that heating my anno setup up. Like, I ran anno on Sunday. What's today? Monday. Yeah, on Sunday. I ran anno yesterday afternoon. No, Saturday afternoon. A day of the weekend, I ran anodizing, and I ran 5 batches, and it's like, that's 6 hours of my life. It's a schlep, like, and that's because I've got a short acid dip time on my anno setup, because I'm just looking for cosmetic. I'm not looking for like particularly high quality, super thick anno.
Yeah. No, it's something nice to get rid of. Plus, I mean, it's not like it's extending your life to be like breathing over anno tanks. So
hydrogen's not good for you. Like, breathe too much, you have a heart attack. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd obviously prefer not to do that. But yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so what's happening with your 4th axis tailstock, Kurt?
So I talked on the last podcast of I'm going to do the next run on the Grizzly because it's not doing anything, and I'm just going to run. And then I started designing the Canadian pen, and then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, you know what? It's going to take me
pen, fruit grip,
any kind of fancy pens, whatever. The more I thought about it, and then I'm like, okay, it'll take me, let's say it takes me 1 day to make the tailstock, and then let's say it takes me 1 day to get all the code figured out for the style. I'm like, it's probably gonna crank through all the pens in this batch in another day. I'm like, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do it now. Like, screw it. Like, maybe I might take me 3 days to make this tailstock and 3 days to program it, and then I'll just be eating my words.
You're gonna be running 4 times as fast. Like, that's what I mean. 4 times as many rip'ems.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just going to do it now. The finishes are going to be better. Everything's just going to be better. And I was just like, let's just do it. So that's what I was doing this morning. I roughed out the tailstock. It's just sitting in the machine. Okay. I just had a chunk of steel of the right size. I'm basically going to mimic what I did on my little machine and just make it go.
Go for it. Yeah.
I got to do it sometime. I was going to do it next batch just to kind of make the cash a little bit easier because I'm getting near the end of the month. I like to do a release so I'm not, starving.
Food is nice.
I think it'll work out. Yeah, food is I really enjoy food, and I really enjoy keeping my house warm, and so I think I'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, no, like those kind of things, you just need to just do it, and you will reap the benefits in the long run. Like, I designed a fixture last week, realized I ordered the wrong material, and had to go buy another, it was 1,000 rand, so another $50 worth of material today that I wasn't planning on buying because I ordered 8 mil instead of 10 mil. But I had them chop it to size like I did last time. I was going to do it with a vacuum fixture, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend 4 or 5 hours making a vacuum fixture that might not work. Let me just have them cut it to size, do material prep, and just run these things 2 at a time. And then the process works. I'll build a fixture that takes up the whole envelope, or most of the envelope of the machine, and holds 20 parts for the next batch. But for now, I'm running 2 at a time every 3, I think it's 4 minutes with reload. I've got to run that tomorrow morning. I've got to run another 60 parts. It's a stupid way to do it, but it gets it out the door in a day, not spend a day making a fixture and hoping for the best.
Totally. Yeah. No, I see it. Like, yeah, No sense burning 3 hours to save 2. Yeah.
Exactly. Like these guys are hopefully going to start placing proper orders shortly. Like this is the first batch of 60 units, so it's 100 of these specific parts. They are product releasing at the end of this month. They are releasing their product in 6 days. So I'm delivering, they're assembling, and the product's going to customers. And then from there, it should be a batch of like 500 components. And then I'm going to seriously want to optimize my process.
Yeah. But then you can optimize it once you have. Yeah.
Ideally 4 anchor points, just whole pallet spanning 4 of them, done.
Hell yeah.
That is the direction I'm moving in at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Oh, I'm jazzed to plop that in my machine to see how it works.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work everything through in my head of how I would set everything up. So
yeah, I need to get yours off to you. I've just trying to
no rush
to eat food and whatnot.
Yep. No, I get that, man. Take your time.
It needs to go because it's sitting there looking pretty. My last excuse was I was waiting for some rulers for you. Those are done. I want to toss them in there. There's a bunch spare for the Patreons. But I want to get that off to you because it's just sitting and frustrating me a bit. But I was harassing customers today. I think I shared that tilt mechanism with you. I was harassing them today, just trying to interrogate them for what their actual production numbers will be on those. And the guy's like, you sent us 4. We only paid for 2. I'm like, no, your quote was for 2 sets of 2. They got them at their final production cost because I underestimated my the time to prototype it, and that's not their problem. That's my problem. So they were like, please let us know what we owe you. I'm like, no, you guys don't owe me anything. I could have got them to double pay me, but it's like, no, that you got what you were quoted, and the production price is now the same as that, coincidentally. We don't make like $1 million an hour, but we make good money doing them, especially if we roll it into production and optimize it a little bit. But they want to do batches of 10 every, probably, if they do 10, it would be every 2 or 3 months. So it wouldn't be recurring. They're still doing testing and certification on it. But hopefully they'll ramp those numbers up going forward, which will be nice.
No, yeah, that'd be awesome. Nice little subscription.
Well, I was chatting to one of my customers today. I went to go drop something off, and I was having a chat to him. He keeps me very busy. He sends me a lot of the gun stuff, or most of the gun stuff comes from him. And I was like, no, I got a quote on another machine. He's like, do you have work for it? I'm like, we're getting there. Like, we're playing the long game with a bunch of our customers. It's a bit risky, but we're playing the long game where we making samples, 6-7 months of just R&D and making samples, waiting for them to go into full production, and then we're smiling because then we're just printing freaking money. All the processes are dialed. It's just hit go and print. I mean, even the diesel tubes I do. I did 200 of them since Thursday last week. I assembled 200 of them on Sunday. Like, it's 2 days of lathe work. It was an hour. It's what I was doing on Sunday morning. It literally took me an hour and a half to machine 200 parts because it's all set up on the anchor point. Load the fixtures, slap them in, hit go. It takes 4 minutes to run 9 parts, put them on the rack, and then while it runs, I laser them. And then Danica pressed in the PTFE inserts, and that afternoon I spent an hour and a half assembling 200 parts. Like, we've optimized the hell out of it.
So in the next 6 months, if I were to give you a machine, I can give you a lathe or I can give you a mill. What's going to be more beneficial to you for the next 6 months?
That is a difficult question.
Or a year. Say a year if you want.
So no, the lathe, the issue there is Big Bertha does the thing it needs to do right now. Like, it makes the parts I need it to make right now. Even Anchor Point, if we're doing 100 units a month, Bertha can keep up. That's a non-issue. It is the first machine on the list to be replaced, but a mill might jump the queue just because if a few things start rolling in, we're going to run out of mill capacity very, very quickly. We're doing a diesel sensor housing. They are, I think, 4 or 5 minutes each machining, and they want to do 250 to 1,000 of them a month. So that starts to eat up days of production. And that's where another mill that runs my recurring production work becomes very beneficial. So right now I'm between the two. I don't know which one I want to go with first. But both of them are stuck. The lathe's a little bit cheaper, the lathe I was looking at. The lathe I was looking at was definitely not $4,000. It's $43,000. And that is a Sano C-axis live tool gang lathe with a parts catcher, chip conveyor, all the bells and whistles. And they'll put a smaller servo motor on the spindle for me. The lady looked at me like I was drunk, but I'm like, no, I have power limitations. Can we do this? I don't care if it takes 2 seconds to spin up instead of 1. Like, can you put a 2.2 or 3.7 kilowatt spindle on here for me? And they're like, no, that's fine. We can do that. They'll make a bracket and convert it for me at the factory.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's a $43,000 machine. It's not a cheap machine.
And because I know you talked about like adjusting the gibs on Bertha, and that
yes,
has that like
they were super loose, super loose.
Cool.
Yeah. We were getting a bit of surface finish weirdness, but don't know. Parts finder gets crimped. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Eurosteel struck again.
Oh,
so yeah, Eurosteel's my favorite company. They owe me a meter of bar. Well, actually, they don't owe me a meter bar because I'm on account, so they wouldn't have invoiced me for the meter. I ordered 12 meters. My cousin's like, hey, we only have 11 meters. We're sending you 11 meters. And 5 of those 11 meters were from different stock. So we've always got 30 millimeter bar, and it's been between 30.1 and 30.6, give or take. So it's been oversized. I bought a 31 mil collet. It works perfectly. Never had an issue. And then Danica was running parts, and she's like, I go there, I look at the part, I'm like, what's going on here? The part's pushing back in the collet. Mess around a bit, thought maybe, I don't know, Udril lost the insert. No, everything's fine. Measure the bar, 29.8. So my 31 collet won't collapse enough. So I sent her the next day to go buy me a 30 millimeter collet. And yeah, the 173E collets are not exactly the cheapest freaking item. It was a $67 collet that I shouldn't have needed. But now I have a 30 mil collet. Not the end of the world. So we ran the rest of the stuff the next day and got that finished. But a little bit annoying. Nice. But that gib was super loose. I'm a little worried the Turkite's wearing out, or the carbon-filled PTFE. And it's not the end of the world to replace it, but it's like 4 or 5 days that the machine is down.
Yeah, fair.
I also went to run parts on Saturday, turned it on, and it wouldn't home. After 4 years, my inductive sensor that's been beaten by shavings and coolant finally died. So opened it. It was connected with Wagos. Just click the Wagos open, connect a new one, check it works, cool, cut the wire to the right length, replaced it. It took me all of 15 minutes, and the machine was up and running again.
Nice.
Okay. But it was one of those things. It's actually one of our topics that we'll get into at some point. Driving the struggle bus, because some days are just like, I don't know if you saw, I added a topic.
Driving the struggle. I see that. Yes.
Yeah. And how to cope with driving the struggle bus. Like, you have those days some days.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
My coping mechanism is use the force and just force your way through it, but that's not always the healthiest approach.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just plod through. Yeah, the work will set you free. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like some days in the day that I'm referring to there specifically, turned the laser cutter on to laser cut something, and thought, let me clean the lens. We haven't cleaned the lens in a while. Pull the lens out, put the lens back in, and then it's hitting the inside of the. So you got your lens and you got the air blasty nozzle. Glowing. It's shooting it shoots a reflection out because it's now hitting the side there. So okay, stop what I'm doing, unscrew the lens mount, put a piece of tape, get it pointing in the middle, put the lens cover back on, and now it's hitting the side. So adjust, messed around for like 20 minutes just so I could start laser cutting stuff. I'm like, then I go turn the lathe on, and then the lathe sensors shat the bed. So eventually I just was like, okay, enough now. Let me leave the lathe alone. I'm not going to get around to this. I've got other stuff that I need to give attention to. And then Sunday lunchtime, I just climbed in. All of 10 minutes, the lathe's up and running again. Oh, no.
Nice.
Cancel. Sorry, I accidentally hit back on my mouse, and it was trying to leave the web page. It would have been less than ideal. But yeah, how do you deal with things when everything goes against you in a day?
I don't cry in a corner. Like, I don't know.
I find that works, but it's not the most productive.
No, yeah, it makes you feel better. But doing it in the shower is better because then you can wash away the
Well,
tears.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I, I don't know. I try not to get like the whole point of like my last while of running this company is trying to get myself to a point where I'm not like under the gun of either time or money or bills, or like just give myself some running room and then just try to keep building up that lead. That has probably been my biggest like stress reducer in like hitting something where it's like, yeah, sometimes like the hard hinge, like for instance, the turret just once a couple times a year just decides to not behave for me. It's just a pneumatic valve. It just sticks. So I have to
yeah,
take the entire valve apart, like relube it, put it all back together. It takes me like an hour to do it. I'm getting pretty good at it now, but it's just like, it usually happens right when I need those parts made. And just like, I can't, I don't have the time. It's like, well, you have the time because you have to do it.
yeah,
So, but giving myself, like you said, giving yourself a little bit of leeway in all regards of being like, okay, no one's waiting on products for me. I mean, that's different for me because I'm not a job shop. So I
yeah,
can build myself my own time buffer and then a
yeah,
cash buffer. And that's probably my best way to deal with weird stuff like that. Still not 100%. I still get roasted, but I'm pushing towards that.
yeah. No, that's. I mean, yeah. The deadlines thing is like I don't have to deliver the stuff that I'm delivering tomorrow, but I like money, so I'm delivering it. Like
Yeah.
the one
Well,
thing
and
at a 3 week lead time, 3 weeks ends like on Thursday, but it'll be delivered tomorrow, and then I don't have to worry about it. The other stuff was due tomorrow, but even the pallet system, like if I don't have it, that's why Danica put a deadline on it because she knows if I don't have a deadline, nothing's getting done. I will find
yep.
excuses to drag this out for the next 10 months. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, but it is annoying when you
That's my
want to go do something specific and then everything is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
exactly. And I mean that is a problem with old machines, but it's not like it doesn't happen on new machines either. So it's
well,
just like,
exactly. I mean, I broke the tool changer on my machine. It was
oh
great.
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was a while.
is that
That was
one
like a year ago. Yeah,
right when you had to pop it off,
actually,
spin it.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
like, and that shit happens. Like
Yeah.
that, I could have waited 3 days for someone to come and fix it. No, I fixed it myself because that's just how I roll. I'm that
Yeah.
kind of like I'm not afraid of machines. It's a mechanical
Mhm.
system. It can't be that complicated. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you just figure it out and carry on with your life. Like,
No, no doubt. And that's my old boss used to say that. He's like, a human built this. He's like, of course I can like fix it. He's like, it's not like this was some alien tech. He's like, someone figured out how to build this. Like, all you have to do is figure out how to fix it. Like, it's not that
yeah,
complicated. Just take it in steps. It's like, yeah, it's I don't know. I always think about that whenever I hit something where I'm like, this isn't like this will never come out. It's like someone did this. It
yeah,
wasn't just magically put together. Like someone figured it out. So you have to just unfigure it out. You have to do the easy part. You don't have to come up
yeah.
with how it works. You just have to figure out how
That's,
it went together.
no, exactly. And yeah, I think there's a bit of a lack of that in the trades in general, where people are like, oh, especially electricians. Yeah, we're gonna get into my hatred for electricians. We delivered a machine. Can I have the electrical drawing? I'm like, dude, there's where you connect the power. What do you need an electrical drawing for? There is the oscillator. Put power in the oscillator. No, we need the drawings. I'm like, dude, just leave
Yeah.
and I'll connect this thing. Like, come on. But there's a electrical trouble. I don't know. Do you watch Rotary SMP on YouTube?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
did you see his video yesterday where he smoked his Mesa card?
No, I haven't
Oh
seen it. I
yeah, I
haven't
know.
probably in a while, but
Yeah, no, he had some electrical issues with his Maho, um, and it turns out it was just one of the connectors in the plug came loose, so he was missing a phase, and
ooh,
it ended up smoking one of his Mesa cards.
ooh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
like he had the whole video was about electrical troubleshooting and how to go about it, and yeah, I think there's just a general people are scared of things when they shouldn't be. Like, what's the
yeah,
worst that can happen? You just need a bigger stick to hit it back into shape. Like, come on.
yeah,
But I think,
yep.
again, I come from building machines, and that's also a different mindset.
Yeah, well, I think that's the whole problem with our entire trade is basically all of us are more mechanical. Like this is our forte. Like we're just
Yeah,
naturally more inclined to be good with mechanical systems or electrical systems. Like you don't fall into this trade and be like, I don't want to, mess around
yeah,
with that. Like that's kind of already your passion. So our views are skewed. Everyone I talk to is good with like
yeah,
machining and mechanical design because they have to be. So it's just like I think everybody has that. And then you go and run into the average Joe and you're like, oh, you don't know how to do this? It's like, oh, I guess, yeah, that's probably not what you're
yeah.
into. And you haven't developed the knowledge on it. So
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's I think also in the trades, it tends to be a lot of curious. Obviously you get the people who do their 9 to 5 and that's it. But a lot of the people are curious and side hustling or designing stuff at night or, they don't want to stand at the machine all day, every day. Like I've got my cousin's boyfriend. He's getting over where he's working. He moved there so that he could work on their mill from 1980 something. And he's been stuck on their Akuma lathe because he's the only one who understands the subroutines and whatnot. And he's like, this isn't hard. Someone else needs to do this so that I can go play on the machine I want to play on, or I'm leaving. Like, I'm not enjoying. He's meant to be the foreman and he's standing at a lathe all day. And they're not doing particularly well, but he's getting very, very over that whole situation. Like, he wants to actually be stimulated where he's working, not just programming can cycles.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it.
I do get that. Like, 9 to 5. I actually had a video that I saw today on Instagram about working a 9 to 5 that I sent to my mom, and she was like, "Yep," because both my folks, my mom worked at the bank when they were engaged. They got married, went on honeymoon for 2.5 years to the US, to Hawaii. Were about to get kicked out and came back to South Africa. And then my dad started his own business, and my mom worked at a caravan park for a bit and then worked with him my whole childhood. They ran their fiberglass business until my dad got bored and then tanked it. But my folks have never worked a 9 to 5 while I was around. Like, my dad would go fishing in the morning, and like his mate would phone him at 12 in the afternoon at the sugar mill. He's like, "Hey, listen, I can see the snook boiling. We're going at 3. They would meet up at the ski boat club, launch the ski boat, go catch like way too many, like way over quota, come back as it's getting dark, and catch some pocket money, basically. Like my brother and I used to make all our pocket money fishing. And
that's cool.
That's my thing. Like, I want to be able to. I don't know if you've listened to Chips and Tips from Toolpath. Yeah. Did you listen to the Dylan Jackson episode?
I just finished it last night.
Yeah, so did I. But like you were saying, when he started on his own, keeping regular hours, he was like, "Oh no, I'll just knock off early today. Oh, I'll come in late tomorrow." And then end of the week, oh shit, all the stuff has to be delivered, and you're now working 14-hour days. And I was like, yeah, that I know that exact story, because you keep somewhat regular hours, some semblance of a routine, and you can actually get a lot of work done. Like, you've got to make sure that you do that, otherwise, you can very quickly fall behind.
Yeah, or like, and that's the problem, is no one's standing over your shoulder to be like, you have to do this today. Like, I can be like, you know what, I'm gonna work on this today, and it's like I have to sometimes just like talk to myself and be like, all right, is this making the beer taste better, or is this just making you think the beer will taste better? Yeah. It's like, well, it's more of a want than a need right now. It's like, all right, tough guy. Okay, get the things that are paying the bills rolling first, then you can focus on this. All right. And I mean, I've gotten significantly better at that, but like, I mean, you have to be, or else you're just gonna die. Like that's it. Yeah, that's a litmus test of running your own business. Like, if you play too much, you starve and you go under. It's pretty brutal method of proving it out.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that annoys me a little bit about our podcast editor. I'll be like, cool, I need you to do this today, and then I've got to go and chase it for him. Like, I asked you to do this morning. Like, I can't be motivating you on every single task. Like, I told you it needs to get done. It needs to get done. Like, because I don't want to be a person manager. That's why I want robots. Like,
different problems.
Tell it to do a thing, it'll go and crash itself for you. Like, it'll crash itself just how you told it to. But she ran a whole bunch of pots. I can't really complain too much, considering I don't pay her. I can't complain at all.
I was just gonna say, doesn't this qualify as slave labor? But I know,
actually. So we met with the bean counter on Thursday, because obviously I don't want to go to jail with selling stuff overseas and whatnot, to try get ahead of releasing the anchor points. Just how do we get money in and out of the country? Like, because now it's going to go through PayPal, but PayPal is not linked to my business, and I need an invoice through the business so I can claim the VAT on the materials. Like, it's a whole thing. So I went and met with him, and I was like, yeah, we need the payroll forms, please. I lost them. We need to fill them out so we can actually pull a salary. And it's better if Danik and I take what we need out of the business in 2 salaries we pay less tax on it because we're in a lower tax bracket. We each in a lower tax bracket. Yeah. So yeah, she's actually going to get a salary now. What she doesn't realize is I'm just going to make her pay for everything then. Like, oh, we need groceries. You can pay. Ooh, you need this. You can pay. Make it her problem. But yeah, we finally, after 6 years, are going to start actually taking a salary from JSpec Engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, I've just been taking money out on my loan account and then sold the business my sister Slowio a few years ago to offset my loan account. Because that I built before the business, so technically it was mine. And then I've got a plan to sell the business my vehicle as well. Because then we can also claim the tax on that and depreciate, and there's a whole bunch of shenanigans we can pull to give the government as little money as possible, because taxation is theft.
Yeah, it can get brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my tolerance for them is very low. Oh, yes, I mentioned last week that that job for the golf tees.
Yep, the aluminum.
Yeah, we heard back. The guy started crying. So we actually looked at the costings and went in 3/5 of the price, and he was still crying, so we told him to fuck right off.
Yeah.
We're not racing to the bottom. Because we could go again, we could half it again. But then, if anything goes wrong, we start dropping our shop rates and start losing money. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's the price. Yep. If you don't like it, look a door. Roger told him to just go away. Like, that's the price. That's the best price you're going to get. Go find it somewhere else. Because
or redesign it so it's not so complicated. Yeah.
They're looking at getting it cost, but then I'm going to have to make the mold, and that's going to be not a cheap endeavor. So I don't mind either way. But it's tomorrow I'm probably going to chat to Roger for like an hour. Once he listens to the podcast and he has his name a bunch, he then phones me. And we talk for like an hour. Roger and I are bad. The two of us get together, and that's like, no matter what's going on, that's like a 3-4 hour visit every time. Because we just talk cuck about everything. It's great fun.
That's cool to have someone like that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I have a question regarding your packaging.
Shoot.
Don't know, you can finish dying first.
Sorry, it's muting my microphone so I don't cough in everybody's ear.
Are you using gum tape? I know we discussed tape a little while ago. Is it gum tape?
No, I can't get it in the size I want, in the color I want, so I'm not using it right now. I want to be, but no, I am not.
Oh, okay. So you're just using normal packaging tape? Or is it paper packaging tape or polypropylene?
Nope, just clear tape.
Okay, clear tape. Okay. No, because I was looking into gum tape. Obviously, with going to ProPack, I've had a few things that I want to get the reinforced one for the anchor point boxes. Although the anchor point box is going in a DHL box because I got to pay for the box anyway, so I'm shoving it in there with a bunch of padding. Like, I'm getting my money's worth. It is literally cheaper for Danik and I to fly to the US and hand deliver the bloody units than to ship them with DHL. But flying to the US and hand delivering is not a sustainable system.
That's a different one. Yeah.
By month 3, the TSA are going to be like, "Hey, friend, this is your third batch of samples. We need to search what's going on here." We're going to go the DHL route. We've decided on it. It's hits the profits heavy, but it's fine.
That's rough.
It starts to benefit us a bit more if someone orders 2 units or 4 units, because then we can use it. Isn't proportionally expensive as the boxes get bigger. So
okay.
But I look forward to going down to the little place that's the DHL Agent 3 at 1 there, like a little copier shop, and being cool, swipe card for it'll be a stupid amount of money. It'll be like $2,000, ka-ching, if I could just swap my card for it. But it is what it is. The joys of living in the arse end of Africa.
Yeah, no, totally. I get that.
No,
well, like I said, offers on the table. I'll cover shipping happily. So just if you need it, reach out. No issues.
Yeah, I might do that. But anyway, we'll discuss that later.
Yep. That's right.
But for now we've got our price points in mind. We're going to probably do an announcement in the next week or so, just to everyone on the list saying this is the price, and roll it out over social media that people can know what to expect. And I need to. That's another thing. They're making documentation. Like, I've got to sit and make, okay, cool, this is what comes in the box. because like yours doesn't come with strap clamps because, well, it's the old version, but we're going to sell them with strap clamps that match the Sanders plate. So it'll come, you can either, like, there'll be, this is the required hardware depending on how you want to mount it. I'm not supplying you Lang studs. Buy your own Lang studs or 5-axis studs, or buy your own M8 bolts to fix it to your own fixture plate kind of story. And then I think what we'll end up doing is releasing the plans for the mooring points in the harbor, which is the 2 units and the 4 units. You can either have the model, or you can buy a plate from us that we would recommend you still machine the top of. So we do all the roughing and whatnot on the back, and then you just do final machining on the top. That you know it lines up exactly.
Nice.
But it's making work holdings fun. I actually got added to, well, I know for a fact that people are listening to the podcast because I just got a message regarding episode 11. Let me just look up one moment, please. Ken from Flux Work Holding.
Okay,
added Joshua from Firmworks and myself to a WhatsApp group. Not a WhatsApp group chat. So we've been chatting because he's like, we're all one-man bands doing work holding. So we've been chatting over the last little while. Interesting.
Nice. I was very interested in the Flux work holding about a couple of years ago. Then they kind of just went dark for a little bit, and I was like, bummer. That was a good product, so and I'm so happy to see it's up and rolling again.
So he bought it from the previous owner. I can tell you a bit more about that later, but he bought it up, so he's now bringing that product line back, which is sweet because I might need to get my hands on some of those. My plan right now is to build a mooring point. I'll send you a picture this week of the 2 station. That's materials in the material order for the production run. And then I want to use that to manufacture, because then, like, when you've got 2 stations like that, you can get away with some silly stuff. So then I want to start moving my vices and stuff over, that when I want to set up to run my self-centerings, I can put 2 on there, or I can just load it up and swap work holding quickly, because that is, in my mind, swapping work holding is still a huge thing. But that's leftovers from where I used to work. Like, everything was a freaking struggle. So even now in my mind, like, I needed to, well, you saw my video this morning using my mill as a lathe. There's holes in my riser. I've picked up my chuck, I threw it on there, I tightened it down to the impact driver, probed the part, and I was ready to go. Like, that whole riser took me not even 3 minutes to machine.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like, aluminium's easy. That's actually another thing. Remembering that there are lots of ways to end up with the same finished product. So that I was making some bearing housings this morning. And my general workflow these days is have material that's 4 or 5 mils taller, grab it with serrated jaws or my special grippy jaws, grab the thing, machine all the sides and the top in one go, turn it around, and soft jaws, deck off the back. And I needed to make 2 bearing blocks, but the material I had was 30 mils. So I'm like, hang on, let me just make square blocks. I don't need to machine the outside. Let me machine the blocks square and then just put them in soft jaws, because then it's got, I don't actually own parallels. I just machine soft jaws, like ledges on my soft jaws. Put it in there, machine the bore out, and I'm done. Like, and those took all of 6 minutes to machine. It was, the LK is really good at making circles.
Nice. That's good.
Like, I made it 2 undersize, bored it or contoured it to 2 undersize, marked it. I'm like, it's exactly 2 undersize. It ended up 10 microns under bearing size. I just pressed it in with the press. It was great.
Sick.
That's awesome. I was so stoked. That 12 mil the recipe I've got for that 12 mil cutter is like dialed in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So see that my gate closes. My wife has just returned. Okay. She left and it closed and then opened again. Got stuck on a rock. But I see it's closed now.
That's the magic of like having. Oh, I want a McFlurry. I haven't had one in a very long time. That's the magic of like having a nice, like, once you have dialed everything, like I'm starting to notice that even on the machine now, it's like, oh, I have a dialed in thread mill for titanium. I have a dialed in, this is great for finishing. This is great for rough. Like, I just like, it's so much easier to drop apart and be like, oh, I know everything works here. I have, presets for everything. It's just like, I can program 1,000 times faster, and I don't have to, but it's so nice.
It's nice to be able to. Well, I went, what was I making? I was making the first spacer, and the machine bogged down. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Drop the feed override down, let it finish. Had a look. I had a 4mm step over, not a 3mm step over. So I'm like, oh, okay, must have just, I forgot to change it because it pulls in with a 4 default, and I just haven't bothered to fix it. But I was running magwells over the weekend, and there I run at 2 meters a minute, not 4.3 meters a minute, and 2 mil step over, not 3 mil, because of the work holding being the limiting factor, because I have to grab it with like 3 millimeters on a ledge because I've got to surface a thing. So I learned the hard way on the first part. Don't go full cowboy. You slow it down a little bit, and you can get much more reliable stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
But yeah.
That's
okay.
I mean, that's what I noticed.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what you noticed?
No, shoot. Go ahead. No.
Okay, I was going to say, before we jump into the very exciting one that you want me to tell you about, let's do what I call our mid-podcast things.
Oh, a McFlurry.
No, it's better. Do I get a straw?
Oh.
I've got a steel straw. It is cream soda slush puppy.
Oh, that sounds much better, and it won't sound as vicious for people on the podcast as you just
what did you get
eating ice cream. Maybe people like that. Maybe it'll be the new ASMR of our show. Jamie eating.
No. Sorry, we are talking about food. Yeah. Okay, cool. My wife is being sketchy. Okay, so let's so if you're looking for information on the podcast, you can check out our website, thelonemachinistscom. On there's a link to the Patreon, where we have one really awesome Patreon, Jade from Benchmark 20. Thank you very much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. There's also a link to the merch line, which is a bunch of hoodies. Speaking of, have you got yours back, Curt?
No, that kind of leads into one of my topics.
Not yet.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. So Kurt's got some of the jackets, and apparently they're too warm for his workshop because it's nicely climate controlled. But yeah, you can pick up some shirts, hoodies. I think there's hats. Not quite sure. But yeah, that's all available on the merch store. It does link through to JSpec Engineering store, but that's just because it's all under one banner for the moment. I think that that pretty much covers the middle of the show call to action.
Nice.
And then what were you saying before I rudely interrupted you, Curt?
No, not a rudely interrupted at all. So I just said a point of making one is not the same as making 100, and that's quickly what I discovered with those screws that I was machining last week. So I could machine 12 without issue, and then the tool would just explode. And then I was like, okay, well maybe. Yeah, I'm like, maybe side coolant access, something, because there was like no bird, nothing was like, it was still machining beautifully. So I'm like, and the tool is, it's 15 thou, it just disappears. So it's not like I can look at the tool after and be like, oh, it jammed. I was like, I have no idea where it went. It just goes into Neverland. So plopped the new tool in and ran again, and 12 screws in, blows. Actually, 10 screws. It wasn't perfect, or 11 or something like that. So it's not like it was a linking move or something weird that was in the code.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask. Was it like in a corner or something? No. Like?
And I checked where it exploded on the cuts, and it was always moving around. Sometimes it's at the very bottom of the pocket. Sometimes it was the very first pass. So I was like, okay, it's not related to something stupid. But anyway, there's a billion things I'm going to try. I'm pretty sure I figured out what the issue is just load on those cutters. It's just better to load it once and let it like slot, essentially just slot, as opposed to adaptiving, because I was kind of doing a spiral adaptive. But anyways, I'm going to change the operation.
So were you disengaging and re-engaging in the loads?
Totally.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it was technically almost engaged the whole time, but it was still coming out. I mean, we're talking a thou. Like,
but on a 15 thou tool, a thou is a lot.
It's its cutting load is microscopic. Anyway, so a ton of people that actually machine screws told me, like, you know what you should do is just ramp at profile. Like, once you clear the center out, they're like, just ramp at profile and just go down spiraling. They're like, that way you have one engagement and it just engages all the way to the bottom, and everything is constant. I'm like, that's a smart idea. So anyways, that's but it's just knowledge of, like, if you make one of something, no matter what you make, you never know if it works. Like, you never know if your tool path is dialed, or if you're at the 110% of that tool. And it's like, of course it'll last for one, but it won't last for more than four. And it's just,
you said that a while ago, making one of something and making 10 or 15 or 20. It's a very different situation. Like, things that weren't issues on 1 become big issues.
Yeah, and things that aren't issues on 10 become issues at 100, and 100 become thousands, and like it just it's a scaling game that I always forget. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to discovering that on the anchor point system.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll find all kinds of things where you'll pull your hair out.
Although, man, I don't really think so. Fairly certain.
Oh,
like, I'm not doing anything with silly. No, I'm not doing anything with silly small tools. Like, the smallest tool is a 2mm. Like, there's nothing absurdly small.
No, you'll have issues of something like chips building up and your touch probe not detecting, or dumb stuff like that.
There'll be something. Like, there'll always be something that's gonna be dumb and happen. But I had a chip on the taper the other day. Like, what the hell?
Right.
Who expects that?
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'm sure there'll be stuff that pops up. But that's just. I'm going to change the order of operations now. That the first thing I do is I make any critical features, because there are very few of them. So the first thing I do, even if it takes longer, is go and put the dowel or the locating pin holes in op 2, and the Lang stud holes in op 1, because if those aren't right, the thing gets scrapped. So I would rather know that it's ruined right in the beginning than ruin it 20 minutes into machining.
Totally.
So there's a few tweaks to production that we will make.
Nice.
But that's what happens when you go to production.
No doubt. So you have one topic here I want to hear about, even though we're starting to get long in the tooth. DIY vapor hone.
Yes. So there's a guy who lives down the road from me who built a 3D printed CNC machine. Did some really cool ISO grid coasters on it. He's having some issues. We're chatting. Yeah, he follows me on Instagram. So he finally came to visit me on the weekend. I messaged him on Friday because it was a public holiday. I'm like, hey, I'm around today if you want to pop in to visit. That was 4 hours of visiting. But anyway, we were chatting and he's like, no, he built a vapor hone. I'm like, hey, hang on. He reckons he bought a standard sandblaster from like our local Harbor Freighty guys. Quite a hardcore submersible pump by the looks of it, a pretty hardcore one, in a bucket. Put his media in, added water till it would flow, and that's it. You have a vapor hone. No, they're not. Like, there was someone selling one here, or someone makes one here. He was telling me it was $7,000. He's like, no.
Ooh, that's up there. Yeah.
He's like, nope, he will make his own. So he made his own in like really good finishes. I'm tempted to convert my little sandblasting cabinet to a vapor hone, just so I don't have to deal with dust. Because dust is...
That's the reason I was looking at him. It's just no dust. I mean, the thing is, I can buy a commercial unit here for like $2,000-$3,000, so it's like it's not worth it for me to DIY it. But for
it's a pump in a bucket, Curt. It's a pump in a bucket.
It's not that. It's my time. Like, I'm gonna mess with that thing for days, and it's just
pump in buckets. Come on, it's a pump in a bucket. Come to the dark side.
This is not gonna happen. I'm not gonna build my own vapor hone.
It's a pump in a bucket.
If I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna build something more fun than a vapor hone. It doesn't excite me. Doesn't excite me enough to build.
It's a pump in a bucket, Curt. It's like a 10-minute job.
You say that. You build one, and then we will chat.
Well, I'll send you the pictures later, because I asked him for pictures. He sent me the pictures of the whole setup. Like, it's literally a pump in a bucket, and he connected the pump to the media in. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
the
nozzle
and then keeping the screen clean, and then filtering your water.
Yeah, that was the thing. He said the screen was a bit of a schlep. But he's just going to put a wiper motor on it and fucking wipe it. Like,
I know a few guys that have built them, and they're like I said, they're definitely not complicated, but
yeah. But time is money, and make pens, not vapor hones.
That's kind of how I have to boil it down to. Yeah, and there's so many things I want to make where it doesn't make sense for me to make it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I was listening to our podcast the other day, and you're like, just build a bar puller. That is the correct answer. It is 100% the correct answer. It's going to take me 20 minutes. I just haven't needed it yet, so I haven't done it. Like, I'm not going to build it now until I need it. Like, when I need it, I'll spend the 20 minutes setting up, and then the machine can run automatically.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, I'm finally, like, that job that I ran, the stuff's being delivered tomorrow. Like, it's all been tumbled. It's been half assembled. I'm waiting on the HDPE parts I was machining before the podcast. Kind of tempted to go after the podcast and just carry on, but I think I'll leave it for tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying running 2 at a time when it's a whopping 3-minute 40-second cycle for 2 parts.
Yeah, it's rough. You're just married to the machine at that point.
Yeah, I'm running a laser cutting job where I'm laser cutting packaging as well, so that's just on 4 minutes 20, and the mill's on 3 minutes 30, or 3 minutes 39. So I'd like run between them, and it gives me time to deburr the parts. Like, I've got to do a little bit of deburring. It's HDPE. Stuff's horrible. Deburring and peeling the stupid protective film off. It's horrible. But yeah, the guys cut it super skew for me today, so I did material prep on it, on all the blocks to make them the right length. So when I clamp them, they clamp, and then I machine the remaining 2 sides in the operation.
Nice.
But yeah, what media are you using for your sandblasting?
I use, I can never remember the number. I think it's number 2.
It's a glass bead though.
Sphere. Yeah, just glass bead. You bet.
Okay, cool. And so basically the stuff you use in a vapor hone.
Yeah, they just kind of get finer and finer with time as they break. And then they get less effective. Just swap mode. It's kind of why I wanted to go to Zerk. But okay,
my tumbling media is disappearing.
Yeah, well, your tumbling is rather aggressive. So
30 minutes tumbling done. Yeah, no, it's very aggressive. So, what is your last thing there? Reading comprehension.
Reading comprehension. So it's funny. I got so those tools, those 15th out tools for the Torx. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna look up some fancy pants versions just to make sure it's not the tool, because the tools I'm buying, they're okay, but they're not like specifically designed. So I looked at some. I think they're called hexalobe tooling that are specifically designed for Torx. Some people are like, oh, reach out to these manufacturers because they make proper tools for like actually machining Torx. So I looked at them and then I looked at the price and I was like, hey, nope. Like,
I thought those were punched most of the time.
Yeah, there are broaching for it, but there are still people that mill Torxes, and so they've designed a specific end mill that matches the radiuses for each size of Torx.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're usually like 14 thou or like 26
stupid
thou. They're weird numbers, stupid sizes. But yeah, the tool was like $200 for a 15 thou tool, and I'm like, that's like, I will buy that once I decide that that's my weak point. Like right now, I think there's 9 different areas that are weak points. But the funny thing is, I sent a quote to my distributor. I was like, hey, this is what the tool I'm looking for. Find me some tools. Like if I'm going to use you, I may as well get my legwork, or you may as well do the legwork for me.
100%.
So they read my email and then they found me tools. And they sent me back tools. And I got the quote. I'm like, $200. There's a Sandvik tool, and I'm like, $200 for this. I'm like, I'll get a Moldino tool for that price. And then I looked, and they quoted me 0.15 inch tools, not 0.015 inch tools. Jeez. So I was like, oh, these are 150 thou tools, which are super oddball size. So no wonder they're crazy expensive. And I'm like, reading comprehension, folks. Like, take your time, read what I sent you. Like, they wasted a whole day trying to find me all these tools and quote all these things. I'm like, you missed a zero. This is like, it happens so often. It happened a bunch of times last week where it's like, just read, slow down and read. So yeah.
Yeah, we got a job in last week. I think I've run it once in the last year. We did a couple thousand of these on my little router. That poor router. 6mm 3 flute end mill through 2mm aluminium extrusion and like a 3mm step over. All 400 watts of that spindle were being used. But it was 4 tool changes per part, or 3 tool changes per part. And then when I got the LK, I moved it onto the LK because it has a tool changer, and I ran off 50 parts in like 3 hours or something stupid. Customer's like, how urgently can I get these? I'm like, send me material. When can I have it? Because I don't have stock of his material. So he sent me 50 pieces to make, that's enough to make 100 parts. So I made him his 50 parts quickly, but I was like, hey, hang on. I wonder how much I'm leaving on the table here, because I'm running a 1mm end mill, so 39 thousandths. I was running it at 82 millimeters a minute for my adaptive, and then 120 mils a minute for my finish pass. Pushed it through toolpath, through pre-tool, 324 millimeters a minute. I'm like, cool, let's see what happens. I've got a few spares. It ran through all 50 parts, no problem, at like 3 to 4 times the speed. It was great.
Hmm.
And then I discovered that corn cob roughing tools do really well for chopping extrusion and not leaving flappy burrs because it's interrupted cut. So the burr flies off. Because I was just coming in and just slotting past, but then it would fold the material over. And yeah, I was using an 8mm corn cob and works like a bomb.
Huh.
But yeah, that's also just not running it the way you've always run it. Like, try new things because you can always save a bit of time or make your life a little bit easier. Like, it saved me an entire deburring op that I used to have to hand deburr these parts with a little spinny deburr tool. Like, now it just comes off the machine done. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, all sorts of weird stuff going through the workshop. Yeah. All right, do you want to do the call to action things? This one might be a little bit shorter than normal because I don't think we're going to do call to actions for like 20 minutes, but
yeah, probably not. So yeah, if you want to find my wares, confoundedmachine.com. Got a batch dropping hopefully near the end of this month. Yeah, we'll be very close to it. And yeah, some of the Canadian pens. So if you're Canadian and you're listening, your chances are higher because for this first batch, you have to be Canadian to ship to those addresses, which is cool. A ton of people from around the world will be like, I'm not Canadian, but I want one. So I very much appreciate that. The next batch will be open worldwide. But this first batch of, and I'm not just doing these, it's just a portion of the batch will just go to my fellow friends. So anyways, that's where my stuff is. How about you, Jamie? How can people find your wares?
So you can find us at jspeceng.com. There's an anchor point page, and there will be some technical documents going up there shortly. Just technical resources regarding the anchor point, palette drawings, a couple models. So if guys are planning on picking up an anchor point at the end of next month, they can start getting their heads around how to use it basically, and start planning the shenanigans they're going to get up to. We're going to be doing a bit of stress testing on the V4 that I have. I've got to just make a riser for it. Found some material under my one cupboard, so going to make those up this week. But yeah, so there's a sign-up form for the newsletter for the anchor point. There's also the frame block utility knife available on our website, on the online store. And there's a bunch of machinist-related shirts, which, judging by the podcast number, I think are only going to be there for like another month or so, and then Danica's going to have some new ones, and the new ones look quite spiffy. She was showing me one of them today. I actually bought vinyl today so I can get some new work shirts because my work shirts are a little bit long in the tooth. And then, yeah, we got on our website for the podcast, thelonemachinist.com, there's the Patreon link where you can join our Patreon. Curt and I have some things planned for our Patreon, hopefully Patreons soon. So yeah, join in there. There's also an after show, which is usually quite entertaining. Like, what is the average length of a banana? Kind of entertaining. That is literally one of the titles. So yeah, you can check that out and pick up some merch or join the Patreon to support the podcast. And then hopefully we don't have to stay in South Chicago in 2026. Because that is the main goal, is not live in South Chicago for a week. That's if the US is still there.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, so cool. What have you been Googling this week, Curt?
I've been Googling all kinds of nonsense. I actually kept some of my tabs open. So most of my Googling has just been around shrink, just because I've been trying to learn as much as I can about shrink and shrink fit holders, induction units and sizing coils and all that jazz. The cool thing is I realized I was running one operation on the little X5 here, and the spindle would like drop down to like 5,000 RPM and then spike up to like 16,000 and drop back down to 5. Like I coded it stupidly. So it was
ramp speed.
Yeah, it was trying to bulk the tools together. So it was doing like a little peck to get like a chamfer essentially, and then doing another operation where it needed that much speed. So anyways, I got to watch how much juice the power, so it draws 20.6 amps of 3-phase 220, which I think works out to about 8 kVA. So kind of.
Yeah, that's about right. It is a 10 kVA. Well, actually, I don't know what the Siemens one is. What the actual spec is.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I knew I sized my phase converter to be close, and I'm just happy that 20 amps. I can, that thing can output about 30 continuously, and I think it can spike a bit more. But yeah, so I will probably never draw 30 unless I'm doing something very bad. But yeah, it's just kind of cool to see. I
rigid tapping.
I didn't know that stuff. Well,
well, not even because your spindle's like it's on there. What's it? 5.5 kilowatts.
Yeah, well, like 20.6 is, I'm assuming it's putting everything it can in to ramp up the spindle, so it's never going to draw more than 20 amp, and I'd have to max out all the other servos, so that would just be
and
bad.
that's
Like,
yeah. I actually tripped one of the breakers in my machine last week. It was ramping up and rapiding at 100% rapids, and I pushed the washdown button, and that pump is not small, and then it trips a breaker in the unit. You've got to e-stop, release the e-stop, and repower on the drives. Because it hits a bit of a whippy. Like when that pump turns on, my lights dim in the house. Like the washdown pump on that thing is insane. So I have got some stuff left here from last week, apparently. I found out that I can get Slock Torx driver, the little torque wrench for the Torx drivers for putting in inserts. Can get those locally. I don't like that shop because they keep having fancy stuff. Was looking at Mori Tool for hydraulic holders.
Yep.
Was looking for a spare part for my bakkie. Looking for cardboard. Wait, there was something interesting here. Where did it go? Oh, well, I've got PFG open because I was looking at... I was looking up tariff codes today because obviously I'm exporting, so I need to make sure everything's in line with tariff codes and assign the correct tariff code so that there's as few duties as possible. Because some interesting stuff. There are some duties on CNC work holding, but it's only pertaining to lasers, anything using a laser on a photon or whatever beams, and something else that didn't pertain exactly to what I'm doing. So I need to just get my tariff code story sorted out just to try and make that as pleasant an experience for the people receiving the items as possible.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that we can get those shipped out with as little headache as possible. Like I have to go to the little shoppy down the road with the boxes unsealed so they can see what's inside, so they know it's not full of biltong and drugs. And then I can tape them closed and pack them and send them at their store. But yeah, a little bit tedious, but it's part of the process, I guess.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, I got a quote from an actual freight company, and they wanted $270 per parcel. So I was like, that's cute. I'm not even going to fill out your paperwork. Like, just go away. Like, yours are ripping the ring. Like, not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what are you going to be up to today, Curt?
I think if all goes to plan, I'm going to finish that fourth, and then I'm going to start bringing the code over to machine because I got all the bodies just sitting there. They're all reamed. They're ready for the fourth axis work now. So I will probably get the lathe making some thumb studs for me and finish that. That's the goal for today. So how about yourself? Your day's over. But
my day's
either
over.
Today or tomorrow. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I can't decide if I'm going to go work still. Like I'm super not keen, but it also, if I get it done tonight, I don't have to do it tomorrow. But I think I'm going to leave it for the morning, go have a rest because we worked all weekend. And then, tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., I chat to John, the old co-host. I have a chat with him on a Tuesday morning and do CAD work. I don't really have CAD work lined up, so I might end up being in the workshop on my headphones while I talk to him, just because I need to get stuff out the door.
Just to interrupt for 1 second.
Yeah.
So John just released a video. Actually, John, I think, and Practical Machinist just released the video on him machining that magnesium. I think it's a valve cover. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
It's the power valve cover. Yes.
Yeah, for
motorcycle parts.
Motorcycle part. Yeah, super cool video. So yeah, go check it out. I think it's on the Practical Machinist page right now. But yeah, I enjoyed that. So thanks for doing that, John. Thanks for shooting all the video because it was cool to watch. I was kind of curious to see how magnesium machining worked, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and he didn't even have a fire. It was quite impressive. So I know. I'm going to chat with him, and then I've got to go cut another 72, 82, a number of cardboard inserts for a box. And while that happens, I'm going to be machining HDPE, and then I'm going to assemble everything, and then jump in my bakkie and go and drop it all off. And then after that, go pick my friend up with that stupid spinning lathe spindle and go and install that. So, my day's in it's, not going to go well. And I've got to sign off stuff with another customer just so that I get paid on time. I've got to sign off with them by the 25th with all the stuff from the month. We did. The only thing we've actually done for them this month is a bunch of idiot sticks. We made another 50 idiot sticks. But I like making those because I need to make a pneumatic chuck specifically for the Op1. Because the Op1 is 14 seconds long and I have to tighten a vise. I'm just going to make a pneumatic pneumatic cylinder, just I'm putting 2 holes in to fixture it for the next stop. So I'm going to build some custom work holding for that just to make it more tolerable. And then it's a whopping 3 minutes of machining. Like, nice. Woo, did 50 of them in an afternoon. And then they get thrown in the tumbler. You can't do 50 in the tumbler at once. I learned this the hard way. You can do like 25. And then they go in the laser. And again, like 30 seconds each. So yeah, really, really profitable, stupid job. But it's the kind of jobs I like, that there are no tolerances involved. The magnets that get pressed in are knurled and deform the aluminium. So there literally is no tolerance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like nice. They put it in with a 40-ton press. It can be well undersized and it will go. Like, there is zero tolerance. It's the best kind of job. But yeah. Oh, sweet. Well, thank you everybody for listening. This one, we're not that short. We're like 4 minutes short from normal. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for listening. Please, if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast, give us a like and a follow and a review. Or if you're on YouTube, which seems to be quite a lot of people actually watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Give us a like and maybe consider hitting subscribe there. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Take care, all.